Control. Hey guys, gals, friends, and pals, this is Paul, EastXTwitch, and welcome to another episode of Saturday Game School, where we learn about a different game every Saturday of the year. Tonight, I'm joined on mic by Tyler.
Hey guys.
And Brandykatz off to the side.
Hello.
Heck yeah, and we're very happy to be streaming Wizorb, which just came out on Switch like a week ago. Like, this is a fresh Switch release, a hot game, and we've got codes for it, so that's pretty exciting. What happened, Tyler?
Did you try turning it on?
Typical Switch quality control. No.
We're on Switch, that's right. Switch.
It is unusual for us, but we've got some pretty simple controls, because this is an Arkanoid-style game, Tyler. How to play. Wow, we've got like 20 pages worth of tutorial. 5 different worlds, 12 levels per world. I think that's all we need to know. Hey! Congratulations,
You're going to be able to figure this one out?
I think so. After all, Tyler, I was going to mention this earlier. This game was released on Steam and Xbox 360 indie games many years ago. So I actually reviewed the Steam version literally 10 years ago. 10 years. That's a lot of years ago. And we're going to play on easy just to make the stream go more smoothly. Can you turn the fan on, please? Too? Alright, so I'm this wizard guy, and I've just turned into a paddle, and now I can launch balls. You got some cool, spooky chiptune music going on, Tyler. And
Ooh,
a pixel.
I can't tell, but... Ooh.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Take that, you stupid bear.
For real.
I know, I was like, why are you
is.
hitting the teddy bears?
I think they're wolves.
Oh. Well, they're wolves.
Okay, Darker Player says there is system-level button remapping. That's good. All 3 consoles have that this generation. Alright, we did it. Success. This game has beautiful pixel art by the famous Paul Robertson. Are you familiar with him, Tyler?
No.
He was the lead artist on Scott Pilgrim the Game. How about that?
Oh, cool.
Yes, and he's a very influential pixel artist. Years ago, he would make these like 15-minute YouTube videos, you know, and they're like nothing but original pixel art by him, you know, and they're very entertaining.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I wonder if he still has a channel and all that. You would think so. Citizens of Terra are the ones to escape the curse cast by demons. The monsters came from Gerudo Castle and attacked our town. Please save the kingdom of Gerudo. So it's got a bit of a Zelda vibe, Tyler, and I'm even walking around in a very Zelda-like format. You could talk to people and stuff. Don't you like the Zelda games, Tyler?
A little bit.
Only the 2D ones?
They're not quite as good as, you know, Pac-Man.
Interesting. I didn't know you liked Pac-Man.
Such a Pac-Man fan. No, I do like Zelda games a lot. I just haven't played any of the more recent ones.
Same here. Oh, whoops. I donated money to this guy's building. Please accept this reward. What does he give me? A key. Oh, well now I have a key. That'll do something. Yeah, see guys, in this town, this is the hub world of the game, and you can donate the money you earn from playing to to rebuild the different buildings and, you know, unlock things that way. So, you don't usually get that in your average brick-breaking game, Tyler.
Yeah, usually brick-breaking games just go from level to level.
Indeed. So I'm just going to talk to a few people and then we'll head out into a level. Link to the Past was wonderful. Can you keep all the money? I mean, you don't have to donate to the buildings, but you want to get the keys, and you can even donate to the dog, but I don't have enough money for that. And yeah, and he's making a cute barking sound. It's like, woo, woo, woo. Anyway, let's just head out. So, Wizorb, as you can see, it's a really cool looking game. Tyler, on Steam, this game is only $3. How about that?
What a deal.
Yeah, and I think it started out as more maybe, but it's been out for so many years, it makes sense that they would have lowered the price eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume it came out well in between the time they did the Xbox Indie Game one and this one.
Could very well be so, because the indie game one probably would have been the first version, huh?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, fun fact, I actually tried to talk the developer into porting the game to Windows Phone, Tyler, because XBLIG games were actually easy to port to Windows Phone, you know, because they use the same crappy XNA thing to do it.
Right.
And anyway, he was like, Windows Phone, heck no, and he would not be swayed.
That's funny.
So, I guess he could read the writing on the wall or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, that's not even worth the little bit of effort it would take.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, exactly. Like a couple of days of effort, and they'd be on this whole other platform, and it would have been so cool. But
yeah.
Oh well. Hey, Javorus.
Yeah, a good phone game, the Arkanoid style.
Yeah, I mean, phones are well suited to this type of game because you can just drag the thing as fast as you want with your finger.
Shoot your fireball.
Oh, how do I do it? Let's see.
B. If only there was a big thing in the middle of the screen.
Oh, you're right. Crap. Now you made me lose a ball because I was listening to you instead of...
Not my fault.
Classic Tyler. Alright, now the ball's going a little slowly, too. Did we say hi to Jono? Did you say hi to Jono, Tyler?
Hi, Jono.
That's more like it. Alright, yeah, now I can shoot a fireball and it costs MP or something. Let's do it. There, level beaten. In your face, Tyler.
The fireballs are cool. Made it easier so you didn't have to wait an hour to get the ball over in that corner.
That's true. And by the way, Heaven Smile, yeah, I did play Minish Cap and I greatly enjoyed it on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Minish Cap's pretty good.
Icky asks why they don't give it away for free. Icky... Developers deserve to make money from their efforts. They didn't make it just to give away. Poor Lyle, he's so cheap that even $3 is too much for a game for him.
Yeah. Push A to alter.
Yeah, whatever that does. It blows the wind around. I guess if you don't like the way the ball is going. Yeah, that's what it did. It changed the direction. Nice option to have. Yeah, I mean, when I reviewed this game, guys, and I hope you'll all read the review, I didn't remember to, like, link it the right way to where Icky would have seen it to include, but anyway, I hope you'll read it, because I did mention it in the game section of the newsletter. But I called it the best game of its genre. You know, like, obviously I haven't played them all, because there's so many, but out of all the ones I've played, it is the best. But I also really like Arkanoid versus Space Invader, even though Tyler's too cool for it.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. Well, I just didn't like the controls on it. I wanted
Could have been
controls.
Yeah, and you know, I might have told you before, but the phone version is dead. Like, they didn't update it for newer platforms, and so it doesn't work. Newer updates or whatever. Yeah, and that really sucks.
It does.
And the ball just keeps trying to go the other way. Thank you. Anyway. Icky, it's in the game section of the game section of the newsletter. You know, where I'm talking about the game. It's right above the description. And by the way, like, back then for non-co-op games, we posted them as user blogs, right? Like, it was a feature of the site that we were trying to promote. But they're not like, they don't really show up on Google and stuff very well, so we don't do that anymore. But I mean, it's like actually really hard to find by web searching. Hi, BX Latito Heat. We're glad you made it. Fireball, look at that. The ball just like cut through a bunch of blocks at once. That's pretty cool. Oh, and that time it shot... Weird. Why did... One time it shot an actual fireball, and the other time it turned the ball red and did better stuff. Who knows, right? I hope everyone's having a nice evening. What have you been up to this week, Tyler?
Not much. Working. Went to a place called a donut bar, which served donuts and sandwiches and beers, and that was fun.
Wow. Is that in your own town or somewhere farther away?
Night. Yep, just kind of down the road.
Neat.
Yeah, it was fun. And they had $2 drafts because they're doing like an October special, so it was a good time.
Yeah, that's good value.
Yes.
Let's see. Has anyone played Shatter? Yes, Jono, I played Shatter. I don't think I reviewed it or anything, but back when it came out, I can't remember if we had like something to do with Cheap Ass Gamer. Maybe I learned about it there, or we had a thread for it or something.
Wasn't it on PS3 only?
I think there's a Steam version too.
Maybe, yeah, Steam. But I played it, I think, on PS3.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool that we've all played it here. Oh,
Yeah, it was good.
Pay attention to what you're doing, Paul. There we go, beat another level.
Free on Netflix. I didn't know Netflix had free games.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works. Got me some bonus gold for perfect for not losing a life or whatever. Well, Shatter doesn't suck, but it's not exactly a hot new game. It's very old, just like this one. But this one is new on Switch, and that's what's cool about it. And by the way, the Switch version, guys, sells for $5, so a little bit more expensive than the Steam version, but still a good value for what you get, easily. Like, you could sell this to me for $10, and I wouldn't feel overcharged at all. There's a bunch of levels and features and stuff, you know, we're just scratching the surface here. Did I say hi to Low Sweet? I meant to say hi to you, Low Sweet. Low Sweet, in EDF we have a guy who might play with us later, like a new guy, you know? So he'll make us die a lot, but we can do earlier levels or something. I don't know. We'll see if Low Sweet can even stay up late. He's usually in bed by stream time, Tyler.
Sometimes it's just too late.
It'd be nice.
Yep.
We won't play it anymore.
Oh! Just, man, that sucks though. It made me miss a key by getting into this bonus room. But check it out, cool bonus room, and things are floating around everywhere. How much time do I have in here? Got a heart. Is it just I can keep going until it falls? Because if so, that's very fair. Yeah, no, I don't know the Netflix game section either. You know, Netflix has some good occasional exclusives and stuff, but I don't actually like Netflix very much. What about you, Tyler?
They're kind of like a behemoth like Amazon.
Yeah, they've got that going for them. Oh, and the fact that they just keep raising their price, whether or not they have new stuff to offer, you know?
Yeah, and that they like still offer a 720p version.
Yes, that's ridiculous. Oh, good, I could still get the key when I came back. That's good to see.
Yeah, I didn't know Netflix had games. I'm sure they charge for it, don't they?
Or does... Well, people are saying free, but I don't know how free is free.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's weird because they used to be such a great value.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, they have more customers than ever.
Well, they were bleeding some customers, but it's more like they've basically hit the cap of the market. You know, it's like there's not that many more people to find. And we've talked about this before. Tyler thinks it's cool. I think it's not. Like, companies always want to just make more and more profits. It's not okay for them to just be making the same level of profit over time. They always have to increase that number or they're a failure. And it doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like, you know, uncontrolled capitalism. The bad side of capitalism. Hey, yellow Lego guy. You weren't going to argue with that, Tyler, like you did the last time?
No, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, I understand your point of view, but like, yeah, like Brian says, when you have shareholders, you have to please the shareholders and all that stuff. You know, like the company. I don't like if I was running a company, I would always want to make as much money as I could. So
yeah,
I can
but
understand why they feel like that.
But if I'm earning, okay, so I'm earning $2 million a year, every year, guaranteed.
Yeah, why can't that just be enough? You know, like
I
if you
can't
if you own a
tell you.
coffee shop, are you gonna be like, we only made $1 million this year? That's not good enough. We're a failure. You know, like it's just when you get the shareholders involved that I guess that it gets kind of crazy and a little too greedy at times.
Yeah, I mean, it is the basis of capitalism, like you said.
Because when are they going to get it to where you're not making $1 million a year because people aren't paying your prices?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we can see Netflix being greedy when they jack their prices to such insane levels as they are right now. And, you know, does that is that actually good? Is that helping them to jack their prices up? I would argue that it's not because of the goodwill they lose. But anyway, what is all this stuff? I can fill up my magic, I can get a magnet or an extra heart. Is that like an extra life? Probably. Yeah, let's do that. How long does this magnet thing last? I'm gonna buy it, but I'm scared that, like, if you lose it, it would be lame. But if it's a permanent upgrade, that's cool. Alright, let's get out of here. You don't want to spend all your money on items. Hey, Spazpole! Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's bad to have a shareholder system, guys. Sometimes that's very good, but it's more like, you know, when things aren't regulated that much, it can lead to bad things sometimes. But, you know, Tyler, another thing that happens when the shareholders decide they want to make more money is they'll just lay off a bunch of people and stuff like that. It's like, oh, our company's making all these profits. We better lay some people off because we want even more profits. And that's...
Usually layoffs don't involve making profits. I mean, usually your profits have gone down when you need to lay people off. Not always, but...
Not always, because like in the games industry, it happens with Activision and Electronic Arts and all kinds of companies.
Yeah, well, the games industry is very cyclical. Like, once your game's out, if they don't have a new game, you know, for you to work on, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, that part sucks. But no, I just think, you know, they'll decide we don't need in-house quality control. We can, you know, we can use independent stuff, and the independent people, you know, it's to avoid paying them insurance and things like that, and like just a lot of bad things can come from that. At least bad for workers, and we are all workers of one type or another, so I think we should care about how well workers are treated. Oops. Even though Brian doesn't.
Dang that, Brian.
I know.
Yeah, I don't have a particular preference.
Look at that. The shape of this level is a heart, Tyler.
I just couldn't.
Fancy.
Yep, pretty cool.
I couldn't see what was going on with left.
And I want to go to that donut place you talked about.
Yeah, it was good. They had a bison burger, but I
Wow.
didn't have it.
Is it made from real M bison?
Real M bison. Bison.
Fuddruckers.
That's the good stuff. For me, it was a Tuesday.
Anytime I've had a bison burger, they're a little bit too dry because it's a very gamey
Dang it.
meat.
Yeah, I didn't actually have it. I just saw it on the menu, but I haven't had bison in a long time.
An Eggman thing below, that would be really cool. I wonder if I could find like a Turtles theme thing to go, because like we're not, you know, we should probably stick to the Turtles and Classroom themes rather than add an extra theme on top of that. Or should we, Tyler?
I say you can never have too many themes.
It's like, just go hog wild. We're a variety stream
Right.
after all. That sounds good. Spazpole, are you still out of town or are you at home, buddy?
We've been missing ya.
Yeah. It wouldn't hurt you to come by and chat in Discord now and then. You know, Tyler, we have a Discord where people can chat with us throughout the week.
Never heard of it.
Somebody share the Discord link, will you?
We have to do the thing in Discord, right?
Exclamation Discord.
Yeah.
Yay! Oh, look at that. Tyler got it.
Yay,
figured-
I was first.
Yeah, you figured commands out, my friend.
Icky did it too.
Oh, wow. That's how he texts his son. Interesting. Yeah, Brandy and I, we use Messenger. Oh, that hand, if it grabs you, it looks like you lose a little money or something. But anyway, we use Messenger rather than regular text messages for whatever reason. I think because at the school where we worked, I got a bad phone connection or something, so I could use Messenger. Oh, no, that's not good. Look at where the ball is.
I know.
It's going to go straight down. Oh, it went up. I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
It's like it automatically went up.
Well, there was a gust of wind.
Well, I activated the wind, but I think it was already going up before you hit the button. I don't know. So that magnet power-up I got has proven to be pretty useful. Just, it lets you take your time to aim the ball before you are ready to fire it. Oh, you got your wife to move to Discord. Interesting. Well, how come she never comes and chats with us, Spazpole? We should have her as a co-host one day. Brandy's always saying we need more female co-hosts.
Well, I am the only one.
Yeah, we haven't had one in forever.
It has, yeah, other than Brandy. But yeah, as far as like guest
Well, yeah.
co-host, yeah. I mean, we had Sugar
Yes.
Bubbles a few times. We had that this black girl who was a streamer.
Oh.
She was nice, but like the problem with her was like I couldn't make a personal connection with her. You know, like we weren't real friends or anything. So there's always this like little bit of awkwardness, like when you're just meeting somebody for the first time.
Yeah.
So that was too bad. But she, I mean, she was a good streamer and such. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Boom. And Dark 6 greatly misses her, apparently. Oh, did she stop streaming, Dark 6? Is that why you miss her? Nice of you to remember. Yeah, and, let's see. Did we have cleaners? We had cleaner on once
Yeah, we
or
had
twice.
cleaner on, I think.
And that other black girl that I don't really like anymore. What's her name?
Sage.
Yeah, Sage. But yeah, that's just about the history of our female co-hosts.
Yep.
Oh, she had a
know.
child and she stopped streaming? Yeah, that's too bad.
Bob Jones says that, you know, it's been a while since a female that wasn't your date.
That's true. I mean, the people I'm talking about were never my date, but yeah.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I come with Brandy now. There's no Paul without Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Actually.
Yeah, well, she has opinions that are not necessarily very becoming of a person who's a minority, but how do we know? Because you can tell by her voice, for one, but, I mean, there's pictures of her out there, aren't there, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... But I feel like...
Icky's
I
just
don't-
never met a black person, so he's always.
Oh, that... You're right. Icky, you probably never have met a black person, have you?
What?
Or not one from America anyway. Maybe like someone who's actually from Africa. Because Icky lives in Malaysia, so there's not exactly a, you know, as diverse a population as what we have. Well, Darker Player, if we ever do, I mean, when we do get married, I don't mean if, but when we do, it would be something that if we could not live stream it, we would at least record it and share the video with you guys. So you'll know because you would have seen it. Oh, they sound African. Okay, so they do have actual Africans over there. Yeah, I thought that might be the case after I said it.
I was like, usually
But yeah, you know, I had a long distance black girlfriend a long time ago, guys. And I remember she got mad at me because, like, I told her that I didn't know Lenny Kravitz was black, and she was like, she thought it was silly or something, but I was like, well, I never heard his voice. And then she didn't like that, but it's like, you can usually tell by a person's voice, so I don't know why that annoyed her. Can't you, Tyler? Don't...
How did you not know Lenny Kravitz was black?
Well, I just didn't know what he... I mean, I knew he was a musician, but I didn't know anything about him. Like, I hadn't seen him or heard him, you know? Or... I mean, I don't know if I may have heard... Basically, hadn't seen or heard him. Let's put it that way.
You just had heard of him.
Yeah, no, we have a long-term engagement going, guys. We did live stream the proposal, and you can still see that video on YouTube if you ever want it, if you missed it. But it's no rush, because it's like, you know, everything's also fine how it is, but someday when we're ready for it financially, then we'll do it.
the financial thing.
That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. There's some pinball games that are kind of like this nowadays, Tyler, on Steam and such.
Yeah.
Have like levels.
Yeah, like, you know, and fantasy themes, and, you know, you're fighting monsters and such. But they're pinball rather than brick
Right,
breaking.
Dark Six. Right.
Like Sonic Spinball, that was a great game.
Was it, though?
It was amazing.
It was a cool idea, but it
was hard.
too hard.
And Pokemon Pinball, that was cool. That was still more of a regular pinball game, but
Ah, I would have liked to have played that. I never got to.
Yeah,
There was a Bomberman pinball game in Japan. Didn't come to America, but Bomberman Jitters Pinball, it was quite good.
nice.
You just win the lottery, then you get like.
Yeah,
wild.
Pokemon Pinball had like Rumble feature or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that, a Rumble cartridge. And what'd you say, Brandy? Sorry.
I said if we like won the lottery or something, we could just fly them all over.
That would be rad.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but we do want our main moderators there if at all possible, whenever the time comes. So that would be something we would plan for. Hopefully Tyler wouldn't be hit with a bout of explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, I hate that.
Russian?
Wow.
Wow, I don't think you sound Russian, Icky. Comrade Icky. The one who sounds Russian is Alexei Walker. Alejandro. That's what his name looks like if you read it a certain way.
I guess so.
Give me that key. No, go back. Yeah. Good. It's nice to be able to blow it like that.
Yeah, so you have to keep over and over and over.
Yes, and also you should have said that's what she said. Anyway.
Oh, I don't say that too much. Although I have been watching the Office Superfan episodes on Peacock.
Oh, interesting. How many are there?
They were up to 5 seasons worth
Is
now.
that a turtle? Or supposed to be a
I
turtle?
believe it is a turtle,
Wow.
yes. Good eye.
Let's take that turtle down.
It's kind of a
Oh,
weird
one of the
turtle.
guild members said that, Icky said. Yeah, I miss when we were... It was nice getting to play with Wolfie and Thyrenia and Perfect Zero so much. And also some other people I miss who never really made the transition over here. Because trying a new thing like Twitch is just so hard.
It is tough.
I'll never understand that mentality. Although, I mean, I probably started on Twitch about 2 years later than I should have, Tyler. It'd be a whole different world if I started right when it began.
If you were like one of the very first,
Yep, because those people, some of them got real big.
yes, it did.
By the way, everybody, I forgot to put it in the newsletter because I keep forgetting to look it up, but we just hit our 8-year streaming anniversary. Yes, October 5th, 2014 was our very first Saturday Game School. Although we hadn't named it that back then. But yeah, it's crazy. It's like a week ago we hit the 8-year mark. Yeah, that's so wild. And a few certain people have been here that whole time, and a lot of you guys have been here for like 7 years, you know, like, so we greatly appreciate your support. And we have some new people like I Made 19 who we're really glad to have in the club. Yay, thank you, Tech Guy. Talk about anniversaries.
Happy birthday?
Yeah.
Is it your birthday?
27 times 2, isn't that what you mean, Tech Guy? I think that's what he means.
My daughter's birthday's on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, that'll be cool. But you should try to be vague when you mention things like that. Like just say this week. It's not good to give out too much personally identifiable information online.
You know
about
all
like
these people.
yeah, but just in general, you never know who's going to watch the replay and things like that, or who's a lurker or what have you. She doesn't like, read streamer advice and what have you, because that stuff's in my wheelhouse. Yep, dirty lurkers, the worst. Although they do drive our viewer count up, so...
Still
can't
count
do
for
all that.
viewer numbers, yep.
Yeah.
Better than no shows.
That's true. Which was almost you, buddy.
And abandoners. Whatever, I checked at 7 and you weren't live, so I was doing other stuff.
Oh, sure.
I
You could have
did
been idling.
In what, the chat?
Yeah, if you'd been just sitting in the chat, we would not have had to worry about you. But no, it's
Oh.
okay.
Well, I use headset, so if
crap.
you were like trying to talk to me, I wouldn't hear it. I didn't have it on.
Yeah. But maybe I would figure that out. I don't know. Yeah, what are the odds? Hey, man, there were a couple weeks back that we were on time.
I mean, you were only 1 minute late.
Yeah, that's not
Hey,
that
that
bad.
doesn't count as late. I mean, it technically is, but only if you're being pedantic.
Thank you. Yeah, and nobody likes a pedant.
So,
Why did you lose the magnet?
Although, did I for dying? Because I died.
Okay.
But actually, Tyler, I say that nobody likes a pedant, but I understand that there's a church that has a big problem with pedant files. That's what they are, right?
that's right.
Wow.
There's
Thought
more
as
than
much.
one church with that sort of problem.
Yeah, gee, I wonder if it's because they're weird beliefs that go against human nature, the restrictions they place upon their clergy.
That couldn't be it. That couldn't have anything to do with it at all.
Probably not. No kind of
They
correct,
can
better than
marry now,
technically
though,
correct.
Usually.
Oh, neat. You remember it, Tech Guy? That's cool. So, Tyler, we've delayed it long enough. We should talk about She-Hulk.
Okay.
So,
It's a show on Disney Plus.
yeah.
Yes.
So, what's the premise of the show, Tyler?
She is a Hulk, and she's also a lawyer.
Single green lawyer?
Single green lawyer.
She's a lawyer and she's green. But yeah, I understand that the final episode of the season aired this week, though, Tyler.
It did on Thursday.
Yeah, so what was that like?
It was good. It was very meta, as the kids like to say, which I don't think anyone says that anymore.
It's hard for a show to be very much more meta than this particular episode was, right?
Correct. It was hyper meta.
That's a way to put it. Yeah, and we can't, I mean, like, without going to spoilers, there's so much that we can't really
We
talk
can't
about.
talk much about. It's good.
Yeah.
It's worth watching.
Yeah, definitely. The finale, I would say, like, people who wanted it to be, like, more action-packed would probably be disappointed because it leans so heavily into that fourth wall meta type stuff. So, we could say that. But did you like how they did that, Tyler?
Yeah, I really liked it. Like, I typically don't go for that crazy super meta stuff. Like, sometimes it can feel very corny or very too much on the nose, but this one worked for me. I think it was funny. They made some, real funny points. Like, they've literally addressed things that we've talked about on the stream before, stuff like that, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So...
Like
I really liked
the expense of having her in her hulked out form. Just obviously detail, but
yeah, one thing.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that we talked about. I think. Yeah. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, can't talk
Nice.
too much more about it, but yeah, it was funny. It was fun.
Do you
it was
think?
good. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just gonna say it'll be interesting to see what's next for Ms. She-Hulk.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, will they just stick her in a movie, or will they simply do a season 2? What'll happen
Yeah,
first?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. She wasn't always CGI. I didn't know about that until like today. I learned about it on Facebook. But
Yeah, I
like
saw
sometimes,
the actress that plays her in a photo or something.
yeah, that's wild. A gigantic body double like that woman.
Although,
is she really
yeah.
almost 7 feet, or she really is 7 feet. Like it's,
I don't know.
Yeah,
She's big.
like the joke from the Adam Sandler or Rob Schneider movie, whichever one that was. It was the animal, right? Oh God, or like. No, not the animal. It's the one where he's a prostitute.
Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And by the way, Rob Schneider is kind of a right-wing dude. He's not like a super troll, but he's not a good person, really. So that's something I didn't used to know. Do I want to buy... I guess I'll buy the magnet again, or should I even... Yeah, I should. I don't die that often. I've only died like twice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, with the magnet, it's way easier to stay alive.
Agreed. And Darker Player says... I don't know what Darker Player's asking. Darker Player, can you re-ask that? Rephrase it in a more grammatically common fashion? Good, I'm glad.
When she hulks somethings.
Cues. Oh, cousin. She met cousin. Well, I don't know. It sounds like they have some kind of movie plans for Hulk, which makes sense because he's always been primarily a movie character.
Yeah, I would think that would be in his plans, but I don't know.
So, yeah, it would be interesting if they pulled her in a little bit and also made her look really good. That would be cool. But we're watching a video about She-Hulk, a critical video, and they raise the point that she seems to look better as the series goes on. Did you notice that, Tyler? And I don't think it's just that we're getting more used to seeing her from having seen her for several episodes. I think she actually, like, her CG does look slightly better in the later episodes.
Possibly. She looked really smooth in the first couple episodes. Like, she had no detail to her at all.
Yeah, not enough, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I could see that. But yeah, it would watching the episodes Thursday by Thursday, I didn't really notice that, but I bet that like if you binge them, it would be more noticeable if it is true.
Probably so, and I think these people did. But I mean, like, as far as they're easy to watch, comedic, lighthearted episodes. So for one thing, I could see myself like putting them on while doing other things and enjoying them that way. You know, not as the primary way, but I mean, I could see me doing that in the future now that I've watched it.
Right? Yeah,
with
you
full
would
concentration.
Yeah, typically you want to watch with full concentration the first time you're watching a show, unless it's just some silly sitcom or something.
Yeah, unless you truly just don't care that much.
Aren't that interested in it, yeah. Then why are you watching it at all?
But I think as far as episodes that I would go back and like just put on specifically, then you got the Madison episode and the Daredevil episode for sure.
Yeah, I like the first ones too. Like
Oh yeah, I mean, they're good as well. And I've read some commentary online where they're like, "Oh, only the like super highlight episodes are worth it at all." And I'm like, "No, they're all fun. I don't know how you could think that." But anyway.
Yeah, there was a couple little bit less good ones, but for the most part, they were all pretty good. I like
Agreed.
The Rip It and Rivet guy.
Yeah, Leapfrog, he's fun.
Leapfrog.
But yeah, I would say
Good show.
I'm glad you like it. So what else did we... You probably didn't watch Hocus Pocus 2, did you?
No, I haven't seen it. I do like the first one. I mean, I saw it a million years ago. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I always liked Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, somehow I had never seen it. I guess I just never had anyone bring it up. Because, like, I don't know. You know, it's not that I don't like things about witchcraft or magic or whatever, but it just never... I guess maybe the comedic nature of it or something just never quite fully appealed to me.
Or maybe the Disney nature of it.
Yeah, could be
It would
that.
Very mild, you know, it's not really going to delve deep into the dark arts.
Yeah, there's that. Oh, yeah, and maybe the fact that they kill a little girl right in the first few minutes of the movie. I don't like that very much still.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you know, the guy who's a cat. You remember the cat guy from the movie?
Thackeray Binks.
Yes, Thackeray.
Thackeray,
You remember
not
that pretty well,
Zachary.
Tyler? Yeah,
A
Thackeray.
Funko Pop just came out with
Wow.
him as a cat, so
Ah, that's fun.
that's how I knew.
Yeah, well, his sister dies right at the beginning, and then he gets cursed to be a cat. And I might have actually seen that opening as a younger person. And, like, you know how some people are sensitive to a dog getting killed or something in a TV show or a movie?
Yeah, that's how you make a bad guy known that he's a bad guy, have him kill an animal.
That's true. But for me, I am a bit sensitive to kids dying, so that may have turned me off originally. I mean, because like when we were rewatching it this time, it turned me off, but I still gave it a chance because we were watching it with friends and everything. And yeah, I ended up liking it overall. There was a different movie, a real horror movie called Mimic. Have any of you guys in the audience seen Mimic? I know Tyler hasn't.
No, I haven't seen it.
It was an early Guillermo del Toro movie, Tyler, before he was all big and famous.
Oh, I'm not sure if I've seen any of his movies. I'm sure I've seen at least one.
Not even Hellboy?
No, I didn't see Hellboy.
Ouch. You really should watch the first Hellboy movie. The director's cut of it is quite good. And part
Didn't he
2
do
is
Pan's,
alright.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, if you're only going to watch one movie of his ever, Pan's Labyrinth is just an utter masterpiece, so maybe just
Looks
pick that one.
Probably
But
like it'd be too weird for me, but I don't know.
it's not like just non-stop weird, you know? It's like it's set in this historical setting of like, I don't know, like a Spanish war, you know, like the early 1900s or something in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like it's got interesting historical context, but then there's also magical stuff happening in it, and wow, it's neat. Love it. Very artistic though. And I do know how you hate the arts.
Ugh.
Yeah, so that's a shame. Yeah, Spanish mythology. There you go. But anyway, what was my point? Mimic was directed by Guillermo del Toro, which I didn't know when I saw it theatrically when I was like, I don't know, 18 or something. But it's a movie where these roaches have like evolved into mimicking, or moths or roaches or something. They've evolved into mimicking humans. Like they can walk around and look kind of like a person in a trench coat.
It's genetics.
Yeah, like the
About genetics.
the premise is dumb. Like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I don't know, something attracted me to go see it back in the day. But there is a part where like 2 or 3 kids get killed by the mimics, and yeah, the movie lost so much of my goodwill at that point. I was like, those kids should have gotten away. It just spoiled it for me.
Sounds like Peacemaker.
Did kids get killed in Peacemaker?
No, but there's like moth butterflies that are like humans.
Oh yeah, you're right. Although they're parasites, right? In Peacemaker, they're riding around inside of human bodies.
Yeah, yep. But they call them butterflies. But yeah, they're more like parasites.
Right. So a little bit like that. Anyway, I mean, if you weren't all sensitive like that, then maybe Mimic would be a really good movie. I don't know, but just wasn't quite for me. And I think there's some made-for-video sequels. Who knows? So, Hocus Pocus 2, though, Tyler. Not as good as the first movie, and I think people who expected that, firstly, were setting themselves up for disappointment. Because this is a movie made when the lead actresses are all literally 100 years old each.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for it to turn out as good. It's like Indiana Jones 5, when it comes out, may actually be good. People are saying that the secret trailer is good, right? But you can't expect it to be as good as 1 or 3. It's not going to be that good.
Right.
Oh, hey, Jordan.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, I mean, a sequel to that's that old is mostly just being made for like fun, for fan service type stuff, and it's not going to be like this remarkable movie that just captures the magic again.
Yeah, there you go. So you have to understand that if you're going to watch it. Like, if you can't understand that, then why even watch it, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I did still think it was a pretty fun, magical tale. Brandy, what were your thoughts on Hocus Pocus 2?
I liked it. I don't know. I wanted it to catch the magic like it used to. It was good. I mean, it was solid. It's just
Crap.
yeah.
Missing my firewalls. What did you like about it?
The characters are still wonderful. Even if some of the makeup to me, but I know it's also just because they are 100 years old. I like that they still kind of incorporated the kids aspect of it. The jokes
nice.
were hilarious. I mean,
Oh, crap, I died. Way to
especially
go, Paul.
Kathy Najimy.
Yeah,
The
she's
first
fun.
time she was good, but the second time she was just amazing
Wow.
because she, when things were, she'd spice it up and get a little.
She plays Peggy Hill.
Wait, does she?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Who?
Yeah, she's funny.
Peggy Hill from King of the Hill, which is a
Oh.
really excellent show.
I did not know that.
Yeah, beat the first boss, everybody.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Sarah Jessica Parker is really very pretty in the first Hocus Pocus, which I didn't
Yes.
think was really possible. But she's
Pretty-
extremely attractive back
Yeah,
Yes.
she is. She's the sexy one,
Yes.
right? In part 2,
Yeah.
she is no longer the sexy
then.
one.
Well, yeah, even in Sex in the City, she is not a very attractive female.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. So, in part, for one thing, one big difference. In part 1, she has cleavage. In part 2, she doesn't. So that's like kind of an
No
example.
cleavage.
it.
Oh,
For him, that was it.
it's like down to her belly button now.
I mean, I think they just decided she's not the sexy one anymore. Like, she used to be, and now that is no longer part of the character. Because, like, she doesn't act very sexy in part 2, right?
Yeah, wasn't she like ditzy and kind of?
Yeah, she was
That's
ditzy,
nice.
but, like,
Silly.
boy crazy.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like, she was
Well-
hot.
Right.
But another thing, her face is very scary looking nowadays. Brian hates when I bring this up, but thanks to the power
for a
of
witch.
thanks with the power of surgery, she's accomplished a truly frightening visage. And but you don't get to see actually much of their faces because they, as I mentioned in the newsletter, they deliberately like avoid close-up shots of the main witch characters, so you will barely ever see them up close in part 2.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Some
which
real soft lighting and stuff.
yeah, and I mean it's not good. It's just like they're always out of focus. Like
Wow, that's
just-
funny. Yeah.
why not just let them be old? Like you can, the very first movie started out with them being like artificially aged. Like being artificially old.
Oh
Like-
yeah.
Just say that they, that like they're under the effect of something that made them old. Like you don't. It's okay to let them be old. I don't get why
Oh,
they
yeah, that'd
try
be
so hard.
interesting.
But oh well.
Yeah, it's nice they were able to get Bette Midler out of her retirement community to film the movie.
Yeah, and I mean, she did a great job. So I can't complain that they
Yeah.
had them back or anything like that.
Oh, and there was the one song that was just
No, but that's the thing. They're only supposed to, like, they're not forever young no matter what. Like, they have to kill kids to take their vitality. So the fact that they already died, they just say they came back and they need more vitality. It's as simple as that. But I will say there's also a cat in part 2, and the cat is not as good as the first one because he's just a regular cat who doesn't talk or anything. So it's like, okay, that's a cat, but it doesn't, like, Thackeray Binks, sorry, actually ended up being like a pretty fun character, I thought.
He was the best.
Yeah, but the zombie guy came back in part 2, although it's quite
Billy
possibly,
Butcherson.
quite possibly a different actor because he's so heavily made up. You know, there's not a bit of him that's just his regular skin.
But he was really...
Yeah, he was
even
delightful
better.
in part 2, like even better than in the first one. So there's that. Oh, songs though. I forget if I mentioned in the newsletter. The songs are not as there's an original song early on, and it's just not very catchy. Unlike the big musical number they had in the first movie, you know. But then there is a big music number in part 2, but it's a cover of a popular rock song.
I'm okay with that, though.
Well, it's not that it's bad. It's just an example of how it's not as creative as the first movie, or not as musically sound. But I mean, the dance that's going on during this song is actually a great dance. Like, they did a great job with that. I would have liked to have heard like a real quality, Broadway quality song like they had in the first movie. That's just me. Oh, Billy was the same actor, Thyrenia says. Cool, I didn't know that.
Nice.
That's great.
Because I really,
Yeah,
he did an amazing job on the first one, and then I love that they gave him a bigger part on this.
Yeah, right on. Sorry, I don't mean to bore you, Tyler.
Oh, you're fine.
But what do you think? Does that sound like something you'd watch, or is it like, a little too uninspired?
Yeah, I probably won't watch it. Maybe if I had kids.
Yeah, I mean, if you had kids, it'd certainly be fine. Or just like people who are super fans and understand that it won't quite be as good, like they're still going to get a lot out of it. There's fan service and all that.
Yeah.
If I'm being a little bit critical, I will also say that the town does not feel like the same town from the first movie.
No, it didn't.
Like, you don't see any of the same people. Like, they didn't bring any of the regular people back, which they totally could have. Because it's not like those people are big, famous actors. It's like, they're the kind of people who work for, a very minimal payment, right?
Right.
But like, also, they go to the house that used to be the witch's house, and it doesn't look... It's like, it's in a different... It's like in the middle of downtown or something, whereas it was in the outskirts in the first movie. So what's up with that,
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, there you go, Jordan. A measly $4,000 USD, unlike the voice actress for Bayonetta. That's a really good thing to bring up. What'd you think of the Bayonetta 3 news, Tyler? Which
Yeah,
I shared in our Discord.
I mean, $4,000 doesn't sound like very much for a person who's, playing a role for a third time in a video game.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of speaking parts in the game. It's not just a few lines. And the person they replaced her with is a more well-known voice actor who certainly didn't do it for just $4,000. So
That's kind of ironic or something. It's not good.
weird.
Oh man, I died again.
Yeah.
I gotta play a little better. I was distracted by the conversation. Has anyone seen Perfect Zero today, by the way?
I think he commented earlier or talked earlier in
Did he?
Discord. I don't know about during stream.
Yeah, in Discord. He talked to an old friend he mentioned. Yeah, so the Bayonetta thing makes me sad. Like I said, I'm generally going to side with workers over companies, but just, like, actors deserve to be paid what they're worth, and to say that she's worth, like, literally the minimal amount after she's already done this role twice, it doesn't make any sense.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, a lot of people are just speculating that they wanted Jennifer Hill or they wanted someone else, so they knew that they could lowball her and then get rid of her or something. Not really
I
how
guess-
it should be done, but
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that makes sense. I could see that. And Tom's here. Yay, we're so glad you're here, Tom, and you're not actually dead, because that would suck.
Wow.
Well, it would.
the last thing you do is you're able to type "I died" and then
I died. And he dies. When do I get to go back to the town?
I watched a TV show called Yellow Jackets.
Oh, and that's about... It's not about the Transformer named Yellow Jacket, is it?
It's not the bugs that fly.
It's not. Is there a Yellow Jacket Transformer?
There's gotta be. There's a Bumblebee after all.
I only know Bumblebee, yeah. It is about a girls' soccer team that goes on like they're going to nationals and their plane crashes and they get stranded in the wilderness. And it goes back and forth between like the kids surviving and then some of their adult lives and how they've coped with it 25 years later and stuff.
Wow.
So it kind of goes back and forth. It's interesting. Good.
And then it doesn't cut to certain people in the future, which tells you that they died. Is that right?
I mean, you know which people live for sure.
From that, you would know. Yeah.
But like they don't go to anyone's funeral, so there's some people you don't know about. There's some characters died, there's some lived, and there's some you don't know about.
Gotcha. Yeah, I went in a door. Okay, what's this thing? Enlarge your magic wand. Hey, Tyler, weren't you looking for something that would do this?
Nice. Only 50 rubies. That's a good deal.
I know.
Mine costs a lot more than that.
Yes.
Just wow.
That's the long wand special right there.
Nice.
I still got a pretty good number of lives. I don't think I need to buy any, right? I don't think so. I don't know. What if I get to a real tough boss, though? I'm going to buy one just to be safe. But I didn't get to go to the town after I beat that boss. Did I, like, miss the opportunity somehow? I must have, right?
I don't know.
'Cause I want to show that stuff off. Yep.
Look at how big his wand is now.
That's what she said. Anyway. So, thank you for bringing that up, Jordan. Jordan, how come you never want to co-host with us? Is it because, like Cloven Casey, you sound just like Adam Sessler or whoever it was? It's not Adam Sessler. Adam Carolla.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tell him my eyes are up here, Tyler, but sometimes he just doesn't want to listen.
Well, the wand is just right there for everyone to see.
That's true. It's hard to miss. Giggity. So, Tyler, I mentioned in the newsletter I've been watching the new Quantum Leap. Are you familiar with Quantum Leap at all?
I mean, I know the basics of it.
But you've never actually seen an episode?
I don't think I've ever seen one, no.
That's a shame. Well, let me tell you, it's a product of the... I'm thinking the
80s.
early 90s.
Maybe
Is it the 80s
late
too?
80s, early 90s.
Yeah, late 80s.
Oh, look.
Yeah, thank you. It would be good to know that. But it stars none other than Captain Archer himself. God, what's the guy's name?
89 to 93.
All right. Really? It only ran for 4 years? I thought it ran for 5. But yeah, you're right. So what's the name of the lead actor? I know it, but it popped out in my head. Yeah.
It is 5 seasons, so they must have gotten them on in each season.
Gotcha. Scott Bakula, yeah.
Bakula.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that, guys. And by the way, Bob's Burgers in like season... I forget which season it was, but they had, like Scott Bakula in a dream sequence, but it wasn't really his voice, but it was such a hilarious use of him. And I wonder if it wasn't his voice because he's actually hard to get, because he is so far refused to come on the new Quantum Leap, which is weird.
Yeah, he can't. It doesn't seem like he'd be the kind of guy that's crazy busy.
I mean, I haven't heard that he's like a... Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's like a crazy right-wing guy, but on the other hand, maybe he like has an inflated opinion of himself.
He might. Most of those Star Trek captains do.
But if he's been
It can
out
happen.
for a while, maybe he just doesn't want to do it.
I think he does have some kind of acting job. I don't think it's like that he's retired. Could be wrong. Do any of you guys know? Bakula, Tech Guy says.
Girl, look. What is Scott Bakula up to?
Is that what you search for?
Yep.
Oh, neat. Thyrenia and Wolfie are working their way through the original series. I mean, but that show was really creative and very good for its time, guys. Like, it's episodic, but there is a little bit of serialization. You know, like, there are times when you learn important new things about, like, the mythos and, where the story is going. Oh, the show he's working on is not out yet? Interesting. But yeah, it's a time travel show. So a guy who is a physicist or something, using a machine, he tests this time traveling machine, but it turns out that he gets stuck in the past. Like, he leaps into someone else's body, which is why they call it quantum leap. So he takes them over, and he has to, like, right something that went wrong for them, like save their life or keep them from getting fired or just whatever it is, like it's like correcting historical mistakes, and it's kind of a mystery. Well, why does he have to do that? And that, as the show goes on, you can make your theories about that. Doing stage stuff, interesting. But really fun show. I mean, like it's always time traveling to a different period, and there's always some kind of interesting problem that has to be solved. He doesn't have control over whose body he leaps into, so he just ends up in all these weird situations. Sometimes he's white, sometimes he's black, sometimes he's a guy, sometimes he's a girl. Oh my gosh, that thing just shrank my... Is it going to stay shrank? Oh good. Man, that's starting to look like Tyler's pedal.
Tiny little wand.
Yeah. Did it hit too close to home, my friend?
Yes.
Oh, man. These bonus rooms are cool.
They get a lot of coinage.
Yeah, so the new show, guys, is, as we mentioned before, but anyway, it's a sequel to the old show. So the old show ended with, like, very suddenly. They didn't get to film a true season finale, so they had to adapt their... series finale. They didn't get to do a series finale. So they adapted the season finale by adding a title card that says that he never made it home. So he's like stuck in time, Why? Why is he stuck in time? There's theories. Yeah, and anyway, in the new show, the protagonists are trying to find him. They're, they've resurrected the program and they want to actually go back and rescue him, which makes me think they're eventually gonna get him to come back if they get to keep making the show.
Seems
Like
like
they'll make
it.
him an offer he can't refuse at some point. But I mean, how can I say this? Well, firstly, the new guy is an Asian guy. I forget his name, but he's very charismatic. So the new guy's good, and he's traveling in time and all that. And the new show so you have the interesting problem of the week. He leaps into somebody's body and has to solve their problem. And so you got the good time traveling stuff, but also the new show spends more time back in the present day or the near future, whenever the show happens. Like, so you get to know the members of the team that are trying to get him home and stuff, and they have problems, so it's interesting that they do that. Like, it fleshes the show out more, but on the other hand, it means they have less time to deal with the time travel plot. So like the things get wrapped up a little quickly for my liking. But there's no way around that other than making longer episodes. Yeah, exactly. The first show almost never showed you the present or future. This show, they decided to do... They're like, well, this is how we can differentiate and improve on the original. And I understand that. And it's mostly good. It's not much of a complaint. But you'll notice if you watch it that, yeah, they spend a little less time in the past, for better or worse. But one thing that changed is in the original show, Tyler... The main guy could only travel within his own lifetime. Like, he could only go as far back as when he was born. And so so he wouldn't say end up in the Wild West.
He couldn't go fight in World War I or...
Yeah, exactly. He ended up in Vietnam because that was within his lifetime.
Right.
But in the new show, they've somehow found a way around that. Like, they've improved
thank goodness. The
Yeah,
technology is advanced.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it would if you just kept working on that program, right? So,
That's right.
Yeah, it makes sense. But so there's an episode that seems to be in the actual Wild West or the Gold Rush days or something, which would be before the main guy's lifetime.
Right, and he's young too, so he'd have some boring years to explore.
Yeah, I guess he would. It'd be like he's just traveling into times that we live through. We don't just want to see that. No, we need more flash than that. But there's some good ways that they tie into the original show. And yeah, like Bob Jones mentioned, Dean Stockwell, who was the second lead in the original series, he's dead. But they the show really does honor his character and stuff.
Hold up.
Who did he play?
He played Al, which is the hologram guy. You know, the guy who would appear in the past and try to help the time traveler figure out what to do.
Oh, I didn't know there was a character like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's cool because otherwise he'd be really confused, right?
So like he gets a hint button from that guy when he needs it.
Yes, exactly. And in the new show, the hologram person is actually the main character's girlfriend. So that creates some interesting dynamics. But yeah, it is a fun show. It is slightly hammy. I would say it is a little bit old-fashioned in the writing sometimes. Not in a bad way, but it's just not trying to be like super serious and dramatic like a lot of shows that are produced nowadays. So, but
yeah, well,
anybody...
that goes along with the old version because I thought the old version was pretty hammy.
I thought you never watched it.
Well, from what I know of it.
But you can watch the whole original series on Peacock, so it's like it's not hard to at least like check out the pilot or best of episodes or whatever. But yeah, like there's a little bit of hamminess in the original, so I really think that people who liked the original will get the same pleasure from the new show. And when I was a kid, my grandmother loved the show. My grandparents were sci-fi fans, which of course helped me become a sci-fi fan as well.
I love it.
Yeah, and so I would watch it with my grandmother, and it makes me feel a little bit connected to her to be watching more of what we used to enjoy together. Aha, so it was campy. Bob Jones admits it. What about, Tyler, you weren't here last week, were you, or were you? No, you were.
No, I was. Yes, I was here.
Okay, yeah, so I was trying to think if we had talked about Werewolf by Night. We did, right?
Yep, that was good.
Yeah, we said it was awesome. So the rumor is there's a Marvel character that hasn't been really done on screen yet called Nova. You know, in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, they had the Nova Corps, which are people who are similar to Nova, like he's supposed to be a part of their organization. But he's a real superhero, and those guys weren't. So, bit of a different story. But anyway, they've been wanting to bring him to the screen, and the current rumor is that Nova is going to be introduced through his own TV special. Not a movie, but just a special.
Huh. They like these little specials that they do, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like, it seems like a cool idea, because committing to a whole series is a lot if you don't have that much story to tell, right?
Yeah, there's some of those TV series probably could have been specials or movies.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think the Falcon and Winter Soldier show could have been a lot shorter than it was.
Yep. It should have been a movie, but they probably didn't think they had the star power for like a movie, and they didn't want to do like a made-for-TV movie.
You're probably right. And now they've discovered, hey, we could do an hour-ish long special.
Yeah.
And great way to introduce them and then just stick them in a movie. And hey, a lot of people already know who they are.
Exactly.
So yeah, I hope that continues. I'm just happy to see more and more like comic style, real comic faithful things. Like what they've done with She-Hulk, like what they did with Werewolf by Night. So it's a good time for us.
Yeah, they're on a bit of a hot streak. Miss Marvel was good. Like we both liked it, but it certainly I don't think it generated the kind of conversation that She-Hulk has.
That is true. But there's sort of a there's a right-wing narrative that Marvel's on a downward spiral. And I say right-wing because I think the main perpetrators of this narrative are people who are opposed to strong female characters and such. Have you noticed anything like that?
Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of funny websites that are fun to read about why every time like a movie comes out, like finding data about why it's doing worse than like the male-led ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's just such a drag for me. God, actually, I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, obviously it's wearying when it's like, if these people were actual comic fans, then they would be happy to see this super comics accurate She-Hulk show and stuff, But they're really just people who are chiming in to complain. They're not people who would actually necessarily care about She-Hulk,
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I do think there's a good crossover between comic book fans and kind of
incels.
Incel, yeah, kind of like anti-woman, whatever.
I guess there must be, but so much of comics is female characters. Like there's a lot of strong female characters in comics. Batgirl, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, all those, like, they're not an anomaly in comics, so you'd think they'd be used to the idea by now.
Right. Maybe they only liked comics, like, from the 1930s where it was only Superman and maybe Batman.
Yeah, and
But, like-
Lois Lane in distress or something.
Exactly.
Could be that. And yeah, Bob Jones, that's a good way to put it. A special of Nova is basically a pilot of Nova without a series, and yeah, why not?
Interesting.
Ah, crap. Ah, I dropped another ball. I'm so bad at that.
I heard Adam Warlock was going to be in the third Guardians movie.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I actually am not very familiar with that character. Like, I've barely read any Guardians comics. I have read some, but there's so many Guardians characters, you're not going to see them all in just a few comics.
Ah, interesting. He was in the video games. That's really all I know him from. And his Funko Pop.
So, this sucks. I can't...
We'll use the wind.
Well, the wind only blows it left or right, so you can't, like, blow it up. And I can't shoot a fireball up there because... Oh, there we go. Oof. But now we still have to break that piece of grass, too.
Yeah, you do.
So, I'm having a really good time. This is probably a bit of a slow-paced game to watch.
Yeah, it's not super exciting to watch.
But I assure you that it's very fun to play if you like this style of game. And I do. Yeah, darker player, that is true for the most part. Although sometimes you get like black or Latino people who get in on the hate train, and they somehow delude themselves into, thinking that they're, not part of the group that would be hated on by their compatriots. But it's a weird world, very weird world. Oh yeah, and another thing I forgot to mention about the new Quantum Leap is it has really good soundtrack. Like if they hop into the 80s like they did in episode 4, you're going to hear a lot of really cool 80s songs, which has got to take up a lot of the budget, because I understand that popular songs are expensive to use in TV and movies. But it's a fun thing about it. Well, what have you played lately, Tyler, Mr. Quiethead?
Not much. I'm sure I played something. I played a little bit of a game called Chicory, which was a free game on PlayStation Plus.
Is it about chicks?
Nope. About painting.
Oh. Well, what does the word chicory mean?
I don't know.
Jeez, Tyler.
It's just a character. It's just the character's name. I think she's a rabbit or something.
Brandy says it's a type of nut. How do you like those apples?
It's a type of nut that grows in Louisiana. And
Maybe she's a
very
squirrel.
strong thing to
Oh, I played Alex Kidd in Miracle World. That was torture.
How'd you get it in the first
It was
place?
on PlayStation Plus.
It is? Oh, I see.
On,
And
on
not
Super
the
Extra
cheap,
or
yeah,
something.
not the
Yeah.
cheap plus. What was torture about it? Just that it's hard?
The floaty physics, the floaty controls and stuff, which I found out you could turn off at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you have to beat it first, or what do you mean?
No, I could have turned it off in the settings. I just didn't turn it off. I mean, it's
So-
fine. I guess I got the more realistic experience of the game, but yeah, it's way floaty.
That's
way
cool to know about.
floaty.
Yeah, we streamed that one, didn't we? I think we did.
I don't remember if it's that one. This is like a remake of the old one. I can't remember if that's the one you streamed or if you streamed another one.
Yeah, I did stream one that was a remake, so it was probably that one. There's a Wonder Boy game or two that I have not streamed, but that one I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah.
Tell them, audience. But anyway, did you like the remake aspects of it?
It was okay. I mean, it was enough to hold my attention for me to beat it and stuff, but it wasn't great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looked nice.
Yeah.
Compared to the old version. They did a good, they did a good job.
Yeah, I think the art is great.
Yeah, the art's good. I mean, yeah, it's a very dated game though. Like the levels are they're really short and kind of all over the place.
Very dated indeed. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like level structure's kind of weird.
Yeah, there's some unfair parts that maybe require memorization, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But you can flip back and forth between the graphics, can't you?
Yeah, I mostly completely just played with the new graphics on. I only used the old graphics, just kind of like, oh, cool, that's how horrible it used to look.
Well, back in the day, that wasn't considered horrible. Tyler, that was state of the art. NES games could rarely look that good. Because the Master System was a bit more powerful.
Didn't even have like background colors really. Like a lot of the background was just like blue.
Yeah, it was a very early game, so I think it was only like
2
2 megabit, for instance, instead of 4 megabit like some of the later classics.
Yeah, I
So-
thought it was like a Genesis game, but it wasn't.
Yeah, there a Genesis. I think maybe there was an
Yeah,
early
there
Genesis
is.
game. Yeah, but not that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it did well, because it would be cool to see them adapt like that Genesis game, for instance. You know.
Yeah.
But at least you know more about gaming history now, Tyler. That's always a good
That's
thing.
right. I have a little bit more culture when it comes to gaming.
For sure.
But yeah, that looks like the only other thing I played.
Gotcha. Where's Jordan to drop some more gaming news for us to discuss, you know?
Right.
I mean, I haven't been going to a lot of... I mean, I go to check in with Kotaku, but they only publish news every now and then, so it's like, you don't get much news that way.
I don't go to Kotaku very often.
It's sort of a habit for me, I don't know. You know, back when they were a really good news site, you know, I loved them so much, so I still go there now, even though, like, it's a very weird zombie of a site nowadays.
Yeah, it's a weird site.
They do occasionally publish some good reporting every now and then, but obviously less so since that Jason Schreier guy left. He was the
he's
one
at
who...
Bloomberg or something now.
Yes, and he's insufferable, by the way. Like, nobody likes him. He's
Oh,
very-
really?
Yeah, he's full of himself and very sensitive and just not a great guy. But he is a good reporter.
Yeah.
Oh,
he gets
crap.
he gets all the leads.
Indeed, he does. Maybe it's because he's like real pushy about getting things, you know, like he just keeps on knocking on those doors. I don't know. Kind of reminds me, back in the day, Tyler, I reviewed Puzzle Quest 2. I forget, did you play that game?
I played the original Puzzle Quest.
The first was so good.
Yeah,
Part 2 is not as good, and when I was reviewing the Windows Phone version for that old website, I was curious about why. Like, why is this game so different and not as good as the first one, you know? And so, like, I emailed a couple of people who were involved with it, and I got, like, inside info and incorporated it into my review. And I thought that made for a really cool review, because it had more insight than the average bear. So I haven't really done anything like that in a while, although I, you know, do official interviews here and there with developers. But it's a little different, because, like, that kind of interview, you're not going to get much in the way of, like, critical stuff out of them, because you know, it's managed by PR people and such.
Right.
So different experience than just privately talking to somebody. Success. Okay, I think when we beat this level, we'll get to go back to town, because the next one should be a boss, I think. Let's find out. No, 212. I mean, it's just going on, but I really remember that you could go back to the hub world.
Maybe you can just choose
Let me see.
go
Resume.
back whenever you want.
I can choose go back to map, but this is 12 out of 12, though. I should beat it. 'Cause I'm just
Yeah,
not sure I'd
probably.
be able to start right back here.
Right.
Brandy, what did you think of that She-Hulk finale?
It was alright. It was
All right.
different. It was different. I'm glad that she kind of stopped the
What was going on?
yeah.
The direction it was
And
going.
she was just like, yeah, no, we're not doing this, and she stopped, and that was good. I mean, I think that was
I've read or heard the criticism that the show kind of did the villains dirty a little bit, and that you don't get much of a satisfying wrap up to their stories, do you, Tyler?
I mean, I didn't even know they were villains, you know? Like, that one guy is not really a villain at all. He's just a chump. And then Abomination, like, you didn't know what he was doing, but he never came off as, like, a villain.
Yeah,
And
no,
then,
well, I mean, we shouldn't say, but
and then Titania was kind of, like, she got
Titania.
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 Not Titania.
Titania.
Titania is in The Simpsons, but it's spelled the same way.
I see.
Titania did not get. Yeah, she didn't get a fair shake. Like, she got. Like, it would have been interesting to actually see more from her. And that actress I really like too. She's in The Good Place, and she's really funny in it.
Neat. And
Yeah, she got kind of screwed. Didn't get to do anything.
yeah, and she's an established Marvel villain. She's not like a huge villain. She's more of a sympathetic character nowadays, like an anti-hero, you know? But she's like well established, and I think we need to see more of her, you know. But hopefully they'll just work her into other things. Guess
I
we'll
hope
see.
so. I mean, I hope she's a she's a relatively popular actor. If I've heard of her, she must be relatively popular. So the fact that they would actually get someone relatively popular to play the role and then just not give her anything to do,
Yeah, a bit of a shame.
hopefully they have something else planned for her.
Did you like Titania, Brandy?
The world needs more
Meh.
Titania.
I didn't like her very much.
Oh, Brandy didn't like her, but
I like her.
yeah, I think they need to give you a little bit more of her, like, you just need to see a little bit more of her to empathize with her.
Yeah,
more, 'cause,
well, like the very first time you even saw her, she was like super powerful. Like a lot of times you don't know someone's a superhero until a little bit later.
That's
she
true,
just, like,
yeah.
broke right in. It's like, who's this person? That has superpowers and is weird.
Indeed. Well, in the comics, she's married to the Absorbing Man, I believe, and they're an interesting couple. These superpowered former criminals, and yeah, will we get? Absorbing Man was in one whole episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they did him okay, but they also killed him right away. So it's like not quite the way that character should be used.
Always
either, 'cause-
killing characters that
Yeah.
they could use later.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's in a lot of great comic stories, and if he's officially dead because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., then he's just gone. But I think
Yeah,
they'll just
but
ignore that.
Yeah, I'm sure not too much. Yeah, they could ignore it, but they have the whole multiverse thing. They can bring anyone back whenever they want.
That is true, which is nice. I mean, good in some ways, bad in others. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's good in some ways and a cop out in other ways.
Indeed. But hey, they've never officially brought Coulson back.
Oh yeah, when did he die?
In the first Avengers movie.
By Loki.
Yeah, Loki stabbed him.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he comes back in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, but as far as we know, it is not actually canonical.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. It doesn't look that good.
It got better as it went on. They introduced Ghost Rider in season 3 or 4, and Ghost Rider was really well done, I thought,
Cool.
But,
Nick Cage,
yeah.
right? Better be Nick Cage.
No, because there's more than one Ghost Rider in the comics, and so he's this Hispanic Ghost Rider. But, they did a great job with him. It's like, yeah, that's Ghost Rider. That's how that guy's supposed to be. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, there's never been any indication in a movie or one of the real MCU TV shows that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is part of that universe. So we'll see if they ever make such a bold move. As you can see, they're bringing in the Netflix things to some extent.
Yeah, although it doesn't sound like they
Oh, crap. Alright.
like the Daredevil from the Netflix one. It does sound like it's gonna he'll be how they want him to be. Like they're not gonna tie themselves up if they don't like something about him.
Yeah, and that's for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people...
it is. Because none of those shows were great, or had awesome
Yeah,
characters.
Daredevil was the best one, but it was still very dark and mopey and,
Right.
and still ashamed of a lot of its comic book roots. But in this one, we got his real first comics outfit done very well, and he's cheerful and a player. It's like those are the real traits of the character. He's not only a dour character like the Netflix show used him. Yeah, no, Bob Jones. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had little tie-ins to the other things, but the other things did not have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tie-ins. Like I said, no other movie or show references it that I know of. Maybe one of the Netflix shows might have, but none of the real MCU shows.
What was the other girl's name that worked with Coulson a lot in the early
Agent
ones?
May? Or Sky, who is actually Quake. Yeah, Sky.
I don't
Wait.
know.
Oh, wait. Are you thinking of the show or the movies?
The movies.
Maria Hill.
Yeah, her. Is she in the show too, or not?
She did show up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yes.
But she's
And-
not like a lead character or a
Yeah,
main character or anything.
She's on there probably 4 times over the years, just barely.
Oh, okay.
And Nick Fury was in the first episode and maybe another 1 or 2 later on.
Right.
But it's a one-way connection. That was my point. Okay, now I can go back
Makes
to the
sense.
town. I should have done that earlier. Yeah. I'm not so sure, Bob Jones. what do I want to get rebuilt here? Let's talk to this guy. Let's rebuild something. Without my tavern, I'll be ruined, and I'll miss all the gossip going around in there. Donate 350 gold. Yeah. You just saved my business. Please accept this reward. What does he give me? Extra life. Thank you.
Gosh, you didn't even get a single achievement.
Yeah, that's how it is with Switch games. Isn't that weird?
So lame.
Donate 250. Thank you. You are a savior. Please accept this reward. I got
Another
a key.
extra life. How come their houses aren't getting rebuilt when you're donating?
You have to come back and they'll be built the next time.
Oh.
Which, maybe they should just build it right then and there. What do you think?
Yeah. They want to do the animation off screen. It's probably cheaper.
Yes, I believe that's right. Okay, how much is it to rebuild the town
Which
hall?
one would be most cost effective?
I'd rebuild his house if I had the funds. Yep. You have a heart of gold. This was the most cost-effective way, I suppose. With the remaining bricks, a rampart will be built in the next level. Oh, okay. Does that mean I have, like, some breathing room or something? And there's more stuff over here, too.
The heck is a rampart?
Isn't it... Human Brian would know. Human Brian, what's a rampart? Bye, Icky. We miss you. Hey, Torky and Shih Tzu.
The horns. Get it? A rampart.
Wow.
Oh.
That's how Ram styles his hair.
Who?
Or Ram styles his rampart.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, I get it.
Heart.
I thought you were, like, referring to a character or something.
General
Okay, I don't have
Ram.
enough money.
General Ram from... Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
Ram or Ram?
It's Ram. Yeah. With 2 A's.
He doesn't have any hair.
A defensive
true.
wall of a castle.
He's got hair, Tyler. It's just all down below. Don't ask me how I know that.
Typically with a stone walkway.
Ah,
So
look.
the wall surrounding a castle.
Thank you for looking it up. And yeah, now we can go to the tavern and such. Let's see what the tavern's
Oh,
like.
fancy.
Mine was
For there,
Google.
or else people have vanished.
Same
Isn't that
thing.
creepy?
Go play
yeah.
one more level so we can see what a rampart is, too.
Oh gosh, if you insist. But let's walk through the town to show off the
Yeah,
other
that's
buildings
fine.
that are restored. What about the statue? I forget what... Does this guy rebuild the statue? I don't have any money, though, so it's not even worth asking. But yeah, look, there's the mayor's house. Let's go in there.
It's weird that you play as an old wizard, because games never have you play as old people.
Huh, that's true. It is pretty uncommon. I do wish that you could walk faster, because his movement speed is too slow. Just, I mean, not horribly slow, but a bit too slow.
Yeah, but there's so little to walk that it's not really too big of a deal.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But yeah,
So,
I can see
yeah.
that.
We will hop into one level to show off the rampart, and then we'll wrap it up. Go to the next level. Next level is the Rotten Mines.
They should put it on PlayStation. I'd play it if it was on PlayStation.
Yeah, and Xbox. You know, you don't have to have analog controls to play a game like this. In fact, it supports D-pad controls. So, yeah, I'm sure it's fine with the touchscreen on Switch. But yeah, look, down below there's a brick wall, and I guess that'll protect me from losing one life.
I'd assume it, would disappear. Because it's like,
You think-
otherwise the game wouldn't matter anymore.
Well, what if it's like just every level you get one use of it? That would be
I don't
pretty
know.
cool if so.
Just miss and find out.
How so? I'm an idiot. What do you mean? But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Is it? This one. Is it?
I don't want to. Okay, fine.
Is it?
Tyler wants to see what happens. Let's just do that real quick. But I want all these coins. Boom. Oh, it only... Look at that. It's taking hits, but it's not instantly destroyed.
Interesting.
There. It took 3 hits to kill it.
Interesting.
There goes my rampart that cost me 1,000 gold, Tyler.
You don't get another one, you don't think?
I guess we'll
It's
see
just
if
like
I...
a one time.
We'll see if I can beat a level as we're wrapping things up.
Maybe like he'll charge you and be like, "Hey, I'll repair your rampart for 750 or something like that."
Yeah, that'd be something. It would, because it would suck if it was just gone forever.
Yeah, that you wasted your rampart
For
just
real.
to appease me.
No joke. The things I do for you, Tyler.
That's right.
Well,
I just can't quit you. Okay.
So, for anyone who is just tuning in, Saturday Game School takes place every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We always stream a different game, and we always give out cool prizes. Tonight, we gave out 2 Switch copies of this game, and I'm going to buy a Steam copy for the Steam winner, whoever that was. So I hope we got his friend code, because that's how we have to do that.
It was 7.
It was what?
7 is his friend code.
Oh. Wow, he must have joined Steam really early, huh?
Why? Yeah. Why is Newfoundland on a half-hour increment? I don't get why they would do that.
Yeah.
Tell us why, tech guy. Give us the 411.
Something to do with them sitting around and speaking like a made-up language or something. I assume they don't speak regular English in Newfoundland, right?
They speak Newfie.
Exactly.
English.
And by the way, the Rampart did not respawn. It looks like you may have to...
Oh no, no Rampart.
Yeah, how am I even going to beat this level without a Rampart? Because they're an island in the Atlantic.
Yeah, but is being a half hour forward or being a half hour backwards really going to be that hard on you? Like, I mean, like
yeah, what's the benefit?
The time zones in the U.S. are pretty wide themselves, and we don't have half hour increments.
Tyler's right. He's very right. So.
Yes, but if the sun is setting or rising, then it is actually a very
they have 2 time zones.
Unique amount of time.
Yeah, but if the sun sets at 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m., is that really that big of a deal? Like, they're only saving themselves 30 minutes. It would be fine.
Yeah, exactly. It would be fine. You could just live with it. It's probably something that was designed like 100 years ago. You know, that's how it is with daylight savings time.
Daylight savings time, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be useless.
Back before they had critical thinking.
They've tried.
Oh yeah, because we have such solid critical thinking now.
Well, I mean, okay, we do have a movement opposed to critical thinking, but I'm just like, if you stopped and thought about time zones, you could see that they're not. I don't know. I'm really thinking of daylight savings time. Sorry, daylight savings time, not time zones.
I was like, time zones are needed.
If you say so, Tyler.
No, time zones would mean half the world has to like be awake at night.
Well, I mean, Australia has their Christmas in the summer. Does that hurt anything? They just happen to have their Christmas in the summer.
No, but that's more of a holiday thing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you would just live with it. I don't think it would be, you'd be used to it and it wouldn't have any particular downsides, in my opinion.
If there wasn't time zones.
Yeah, exactly. Brian says time zones solve a problem for an industry that doesn't exist anymore. And yes, I agree with that.
So say midnight is like really midnight, then for me midnight in England Greenwich Mean Time, so that means that 8 a.m. for us is like pitch black and it doesn't get bright until like 2 or 3 p.m.
So you'd operate at different hours of the day, but it what does that matter?
I don't think it would work.
Oh, maybe you're right, Tyler. Who knows? It's too hard.
I'd have to do some more critical thinking myself.
And I'd probably be critical of you for doing that, so you don't want to go there. Yeah, why is that a problem, Bob Jones says. He's got you there. There you go, Brian.
Well, but then because you can't be like, oh yeah, it's noon, it's time for a break at work, and there wouldn't be a universal concept of noon, because some people's noon would be like at night and some would be in the day, and people wouldn't really be able to share the concept of noon.
You're right about that. The concept of noon and midnight would change for sure, or be inapplicable. Well, that was a very fun conversation about time and Newfoundland. So
I have more to add, and then we'll be done. The bigger issue with time is that it's like basically a base 12 system, which is ridiculous. Like, why can't it be 10? It's like everything else.
Yeah, why? Has anyone ever tried to divide the hours of the day up differently like that?
Yeah. How is 12:59 earlier than 1?
Because it happens before?
I know, but 12:59 is a way bigger number than 1.
Well, we could use military time. Would that make you happier?
Probably.
I don't like it. But I probably don't like it because I have to convert it to the real time, Human time, or whatever we call the regular time.
Yeah, regular time.
Huh. Brian says noon would just operate differently than how it currently does.
Yeah, it wouldn't have... The term noon wouldn't be synonymous with 12 anymore.
Indeed, it would be, but it still would have a purpose, I guess, and you could say the same
it
for
would be
midnight
synonymous
too.
when the sun is up in the middle of the sky at 8 p.m. in Utah. That sounds wonderful.
That's how they used to do things, Tyler, before clocks were invented in the first place. They just operated based on the position of the sun.
They screwed up clocks anyway by making them 12.
I guess they did.
Should be like 1085 right now.
1085.
Yep.
Interesting. We'll operate on a hundreds-based system.
Exactly.
Oh, what are these? Magic wand launches 3 orbs at once. Yeah, that sounds like a one-time use kind of thing. What's this clock do? The orb starts at a speed twice slower. No, I don't really want that. The game's already a little bit slow, on easy at least. It might be faster on other difficulties. But I don't have a fireball spell anymore. I wonder how I get a new spell.
Maybe that's your new spell, is the triple orb spell or something.
Oh, look, no, it came back. I just couldn't see the fireball when I was in the shop. That's weird.
Oh.
But, yeah. Anyway, shall we wrap it up, Tyler?
Let's do it. I'm done with time-related comments.
It's time to end the stream.
Yes, it is. It's about time.
We don't have time to talk about time. It's not the time. He just fawned this out. What does he mean by that? Uh-oh. Look at what Tech Guy's saying, though. He's adding an important wrinkle into our previous discussion. Somebody... The whole game should have 3 balls like this, because it's very interesting.
Not even, like, I understand the words he's used. I've heard those words before, but them used in that context do not make sense to me.
Uh-oh. Maybe we can get Brian to explain it later.
Yeah. We need a translation.
For real. And when are we all going to play golf with your friends on PlayStation, Tyler? I thought we were going to do that someday.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're the head honcho. You're the one who has to plan all that stuff.
I guess so, if you insist. But still, we wouldn't have the stream without you too, Tyler. You know that, right?
That's right. Thank you.
I would get tired of it and retire.
And I have a good person for us to raid.
Who's that?
Suzu JPG.
Okay, well, wait till we get to the end credits and then post the name for me.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, we've been playing Wizorb for Nintendo Switch. It is also available on Steam. It could be on mobile, too. I don't really know. But Wizorb is a really cool fantasy action RPG, or fantasy adventure-themed brick-breaking game. It's kind of one of a kind, and it was originally developed over 10 years ago, so at the time there weren't a lot of other games like this. It's really innovative, and it's cool to have it on Switch. It sells for only $5 on Switch and $3 on Steam. So if you didn't win a copy tonight, be sure to grab a copy to support Tribute Games, the developer who gave us prizes for the very first time, and we're grateful for it. So yeah, Tyler, thanks for co-hosting.
Yep, happy to be here. Had a good time.
It's about time you admitted that.
Right.
And Brandy, thanks for chatting along with us too.
Not a problem.
Thanks to the dearly departed Icky for running the contest. Thanks to all of our viewers for hanging out with us. And extra special thanks to our subscribers who truly keep this stream going almost as much as Tyler does. Or equally as much. Maybe even more. Who knows? You're all very important.
They do it monetarily.
There you go. So that counts for something. But we've been doing Saturday Game School for 8 years now, a whopping 8 years, and I'm really grateful for all the friends that I've made along the way and the ones who stick around with us all these years, every Saturday night, or when they can come, you know. So, thanks a lot, guys. Except for Panda P. No thanks to you. No, just kidding. Extra special thanks to Panda P. There you go. That's what I meant to say the first time. So, we'll catch you all next Saturday at the same time. And remember, don't hate, appreciate.
Hey, guys.
Bye.
That ought to hold those little SOBs. Those time zone freaks.
Indeed. Bunch of weirdos in different time zones.
Right.
Okay, well, let's individually thank everybody who stuck around. I saw Shitsu, Tech Guy, and Human Brian. Do you see anybody different?
Perfect Zero, and Jono, and Panda P.
Yay!
Bob Jones.
Bob Jones! He'll always be ahead of us. Thyrenia and Wolfblade. Yeah,
Parker's probably still here.
Darker Player. We appreciate her. And she donated one of tonight's prizes, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I made 19 was chatting just a few minutes ago, so I made we sure are glad to have you with us.